Hey everybody, Dave Hagan here. Today we're going to talk about the new Apple Card. Check it out. That's today on the Financial Wellness Podcast.
Welcome to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to the financial success. Here is your host, financial problem solver and talk show host, Dave Hagan.
Hey everybody, Dave Hagan here, coming to you from beautiful downtown Van Nuys. This is the Financial Wellness Podcast. Today with me, Mr. Brian Reed. Brian, welcome to the show.
Good morning, David. Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
So today we're going to talk about this new Apple Card.
Apple Card.
I know. We talk about credit cards here from time to time, even though we're not big fans or proponents, but I think it's important to stay up on this kind of stuff. It's an Apple stuff, so I'm especially digging it as an Apple kind of person. So a couple weeks ago, I'm watching the Apple video reveal, and they're talking about this new credit card. It was just a couple weeks ago that this came out, and it was a great video. They do a great job. Those videos, as you know, are always on the Apple website. And, the videos aren't as compelling as they used to be. I mean, you remember when Steve Jobs goes, "This is the iPhone," and we were all rolling on the ground going, "Oh my God, yeah, look at that. When can I go stand in line?" And so they're not as compelling as they once were, but, Tim Cook does a good job and all those folks do a good job. And it's always interesting to look at that, although I don't at least look at it live anymore. I look at it that night, or I'll fast forward through certain portions.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched the
whole thing,
the live whole thing since Steve Jobs.
Yeah. I mean, they used to have blog sites where people would look at blogs, and you're watching the video, and they go, "Oh my goodness, he just did this. Oh my goodness, he just showed us that." Now it's like, you know what? I'll check it out tonight.
I'll see the highlights.
Right. It's still way more interesting than the Kardashian show, but I'll look at it. I'll look at it tonight. I can wait. So anyway. When I heard that it came out, I thought, wow, let's check that out. Let's check that out. So again, being financial wellness podcast people, we like cash. We always recommend cash. Studies show that people who spend cash are better spenders. They're a little tighter with their purchases, so they're a little better off. We also love debit cards. Next in line would probably be a debit card. Probably, we've done previous episodes on the advantages of debit cards. If you haven't listened to that, it's episode 125. Go back and check it out. Debit cards are especially important for you if you're the kind of person that tends to just let balances build up on a credit card. With a debit card, it's coming out. And when you don't got it, you don't spend it. And we like that natural kind of restriction. And then next would be, credit cards. There's a lot of people, financial people, that say no credit cards at all. That's not really our position. We think that in some circumstances, credit cards might be something that someone might consider, not credit cards. Credit card. We think that that's something that might be appropriate for some people. And of course, our pinnacle experience last year was
The black card.
The black card. And we talked about that in episode number 120. So if you didn't catch us drooling all over the black card, check it out. It was Brian's favorite episode, as I recall, the black card.
It was one of them, yeah. That's
Nick was in studio, and we were checking it out. Now it's metal, it's black, it says Elite on it. I mean, you are really a cool person when you got this black card, MasterCard.
It was heavy.
It was heavy. It was pretty cool, and it gets you into airport lounges, which, as I recall, was what we thought was one of its best features. The cashback rate was just okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was giving you some mileage or some cash back or something like that. But it was cool. And it was also $500 a year. It's like, what? But we did a whole episode on that, and we did a whole episode on the Costco card. Check out episode 121, and we kind of thought that maybe it was the credit card for the rest of us. Remember, Nick was such a big proponent, and he was so proud showing us his like Costco card because he got such good cash back on it. I think we had even done an episode on the Amazon card, which happens to be one of the ones that I thought was plausible for me. So we've talked about this a lot, even though we're not huge proponents, because we know people are going to carry cards, people are going to want these kinds of things, and we need to very clearly look at them, compare them, and analyze them for what
make
they
smart
are.
choices over which card, singular, you're going to have.
Right. I think I told the story about an NBA player that I bumped into, and the biggest financial issue for him was, got to make sure I got an Amex Black. And I said, well, why an Amex Black card, dude? And he says, well, because when we go out after the games and party, you got to be able to throw down your card. And it's like, no, you need to save some money. But that's the lifestyle. So all sorts of cards out there. We're not big fans, but I think it's important to talk about it. So, well, then what about the Apple card? Well, first, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Have you seen it?
It's what's the term?
Exquisite.
It's exquisite. It's simplistic. It's minimalist. That's the word.
Well, and you'd expect that from Apple, I
Yep.
guess. I mean, the thing's made out of titanium,
Nice.
and they engrave your name on it. I mean, that's pretty. It probably doesn't say elite like the Black card, because Apple doesn't want to get too over the top, but they put your name on it. It doesn't have a credit card number on it. What?
Nope.
What?
Numbers are gone.
What? No numbers on it? How do you get that done? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But leave it to Apple to go with like new colors and looks. Everyone's going with the black card, the gray card, the sapphire deluxe card, the whatever. And Apple just goes back the other way. Hey, how about white and silver and simple and cool looks? I don't know. I don't know if I can get over there not being a card number on it or an account number on it, but I guess they've got it all figured out. So, I mean, I guess that's the first thing. It's way cool. Way cool. But something else that occurred to me with us liking these metal cards, the Black card was metal, the Apple card's titanium. Isn't your wallet going to start to get a little heavy? You'd be worried in a rainstorm if there was a puddle in the gutter and you fell in the gutter, you could drown.
You could drown. I'm never getting out of here.
Yeah, the autopsy says drowning by credit card.
No, we don't want any. No one wants to drown by credit card debt. That's bad.
Well, it's another reason we don't recommend any of these cards, right?
Exactly.
We don't want anyone to say, well, they told me to
You
get
can have
that
one.
card.
You can have one, but just don't use it.
Yeah, and there I was drowning. I was drowning in the puddle from my metal credit card. I don't know. But it is way over the top, cool. I might want one just on that, although, to change over everything, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Second, it works with Apple Pay. And this is really, I think, their business plan. You walk into the dry cleaner and you go, beep. You just show them your phone and it goes, beep. It's apparently very secure. So the fact that it works with the phone and it's very secure, and I think what they're trying to do is get us to use the Apple Pay more and just kind of have this credit card or this credit account backing it up. The problem is, only 75% of the merchants in the United States accept Apple Pay. Did you see that stat in the reveal? In Australia, 100% of the merchants accept Apple Pay, but in the United States, only 75%. So this means that in the United States, you're going to need to pull out the credit card and use it the other 25% of the time. So that's kind of a pain. 1 in 4, you got to pull out the card. You got to see whether they got the little beep thing. I wish the acceptance rate was higher. That would make it easier. That's going to be kind of a pain. And whether you use it as the Apple Pay on your phone or the credit card is going to make a difference on your cash back. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But it's a great strategy for them. They're trying to get people to use Apple Pay. It's more secure, so there's going to be arguably less fraud. and they want a piece of that income stream. They want to be like MasterCard or Visa or, any of these banks. And who doesn't? I mean, there's gazillions and gazillions of dollars flowing through, these coffers, and they're getting a piece of the action. Every single transaction they get a piece of. A great business strategy for them. Now, as an individual, you only care, I suppose, if you're a shareholder, right? Not a user. As a user, you don't care. You want convenience. You want points or cash or whatever back. You don't particularly care. But I suppose if you're a shareholder, and Apple can expand beyond, machinery and music into services and these other kinds of things, I guess that's a really good business strategy. Got to hand it to them. But that's why there's no number on the card. The card number is contained in your phone. And if it's contained into the card chip itself, but it's not on the phone. So if you're going to the internet and you're going to buy something on, I don't know, Amazon or whatever, you got to type in the number to make the purchase, right? So you got to go to your phone. The number's in the phone. Or maybe you memorize I don't know. But you're going to have to do that. At least that's what I'm surmising you're going to have to do. So those times when you're buying something online, you got to get out your phone, you got to put in the number, you got to make it work that way. Because when you're online, you can't beep and you can't swipe the card. So now it gets a little bit more complicated, to me at least. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I guess you're going from the movement of I reach into my wallet, and I pull out the card, and there's the number. That's arguably two actions?
Yeah.
One, reaching back, two, pulling it out of the wallet. Now you have to go to your phone, and it's a tap to go to, I don't know, finances or Apple, or, scroll, Apple Pay open. Maybe it's 3 taps to get to the actual number. I don't know. But it's always with you.
Yeah.
Your wallet could be on your dresser when you're at your computer. You're like, oh, shoot, I need my credit card number.
Sure.
So I got to go get my wallet. But odds are the phone is right there.
Right.
So.
Right. I've often thought, we carry around our phone. I need to have it by me all day long. And I've often thought, if I left the house without my phone or without my pants, in which case would I go back? And I'm telling you, I think it'd be the phone. You just feel so unattached and so naked without the phone. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know, kind of a pain, but okay, maybe they get us over that. Maybe they get more and more of us using, the Apple Pay and the beep in the phone. Of course, this also implies that you got to have an iPhone. There's a lot of people out there that more people that use the other products numerically than the iPhone. So that's also an issue as well. We'll see how they deal with that. The third thing is the deal points. What are the points of the deal? Well, it's a cash card, and it's not points. It's not miles. I think miles and points are kind of fool's gold, because when they're talking about that, they can adjust the value of the currency from time to time. I know that, what is it? Airline miles, we did that for a while. It was like 25,000 miles to get over to Europe. And I'm going, I don't know. That seems like a lot of miles. I like cash. Give me a percentage back. Give me cash. Give it to me rapidly. Give it to me frequently. I don't want to use it to buy stuff in your store because I think you're inflating prices in your store. Give me the cash.
Give me the cash.
And that's what Nick loved about the Costco card, because what was it, once a year, twice a year, whatever it was, they send them a check. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
I've done that in the past where it's like miles or whatever. And no, give me the cash. And I like that. Their reward rates. Boy, say that 10 times. Reward. I didn't realize that was such a tongue twister.
Reward.
Just now. The reward rates. They're going to give you 3% on Apple purchases. Well, that's really good. But think about it. How much do you spend? We all spend money, I guess, on Apple, but not like a ton.
Yeah, that's not everyday purchase.
Yeah, not everyday stuff. And the whole idea, if you're going to do this, if, is to capture, some cash back on the volume of your day-to-day, not, you purchase a new computer at Apple for $1,000, $2,000 every 3, 4, 5 years. You buy songs on iTunes for 99 cents, or you buy a movie on iTunes for, $15. I mean, that's not enough to really be appreciable, but they do give you 3% on Apple purchases. They give you 2% on Apple Pay purchases. Well, that's nice. 2% is pretty good. I mean, that's using your Apple Pay. That's using the beep. So when you pull out the credit card, that's not 2%. That's something else. Again, it's only 75% of the merchants in the United States. And then they'll give you 1% on everything else. Well, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, that's maybe kind of in the ballpark of some of the other cards that we looked at, perhaps. But there's some cards that'll give you 2% on anything. You know, I mean, there's a card out there, Citi Double Cash, and they pay you a percent when you buy and a percent when you pay. And if maximum cash back and simplicity are your objective, I don't know, maybe that's a better card if you're just looking at the deal points, if you're just looking at the cash back. You know, Costco, when we talked about that, 4% on gas, 3% on dining, 2% on Costco purchases, 1% on everything else. Well, probably, unless you're eating a lot of pre-cooked chickens, you know, you're going to be using that mostly for the 1%. Now, you know, the Costco credit card's pretty good, but you know, that starts to get complicated. Where am I going to buy my gas? What am I going to eat out? What am I going to get at Costco? And 1% on anything else. I don't know. It's not bad, but maybe that's not the optimal points back. And if you're looking at points back, well, there are other better cards perhaps. You know, another point is the accrual of the rebate. Some of them accrue every month. The Apple Card is daily, and they made a big deal about this. Why? Because their market is millennials, and millennials like instant gratification, right? Mm-hmm. And so every day they're going to let you know, or they're going to accrue at least, that cash back. And I guess that means you could get like an email every day. But I don't want any more daily emails. You know, you earned 32 cents today on your, you know, Apple Card. I don't know that I want to know that. You know, it'd be nice if my credit cards or credit card told me that, you know, in a little more prominent fashion, how many points or miles, or not points or miles. You see, I go back to points and miles, how much cash I had accrued. But, you know, they don't make it particularly prominent until you know, you look at it one day and go, whoa, look at that. Oh, I need to go to Hawaii.
Well, are you saying that you would rather have it like via text or something?
Well, maybe not as a daily sounds like a lot. You know what I mean? And just like the last thing I need is another email. I spend time in elevator just culling out emails. Maybe the monthly thing is better, but we'll see. I mean, obviously Apple knows what they're doing. Obviously they've got a very specific market, and you know, maybe they think that you know, someone getting an email every day is going to encourage them to use their account more, and they've kind of couched that as a benefit. I mean, maybe that works for them. I don't know that I want that, but who knows? The fourth thing is fees. Now, this is really cool about the new card. No fees, no late fees, no over the limit fees, nothing, no fees, no membership fees. But of course, any card that we talk about on TFWP, we don't pay annual membership fees.
TFWP, dude.
Oh, that's the Financial Wellness Podcast. We got to get you up to speed. You were gone a week. I mean,
I was gone a week. I didn't know we were using that now.
Yeah, things move on, dude. But no fees, never any kind of fees, late fees, over the limit fee. Man, I like this, but you know, I got to hope that our TFWP listeners aren't paying any kind of late fees or over the limit fees. My goodness, I hope not. The fifth thing, interest. They're talking about 13 to 24%, depending upon someone's credit worthiness. I don't think that's either good or bad, because hopefully you're not going to be paying interest and carrying a balance. But that's within the, it's within the ballpark. It's probably on the low side, on the high end, 24%. We've certainly seen credit cards with higher. Remember, we've said in previous shows and over again that the nationwide average is about 18%. So, I mean, the interest, it's okay. I don't know if they're in this for the interest. Remember, we said that credit card companies make money on interest and late fees and a percentage of the flow that goes through. So if Apple's going to give up one of those three sources of income, where are they going to make their money? I don't know. I'm surmising that they're going to make up some of that perhaps with having less fraud, because it's such a secure transaction. They assign some kind of a number for every single transaction. So I'm sure that they've run the numbers. They're very smart people and they've thought this through, but they're giving up one of the bars or one of the legs on the bar stool, which is the late fees, the over limit fees. Interesting.
Maybe they're going with, look, if we're willing to eat it on the late fees, we'll make up for it on volume in terms of purchases. And because more people will be using it, because they'll go, sweet, I'm not going to have a late fee if I use this card.
Right. I'm sure they've penciled it out and they've got a very clear idea. Sixth, cash advance rates. I don't care. They haven't announced it yet, but I don't care. Never cash advance. I've said over and over, show me someone that's cash advancing and I'll show you someone in financial trouble. Never pull money off a card. Don't care. Seventh, sign-up bonus. Again, don't care. A sign-up bonus is a bribe. Hey, we'll give you a $300 credit if you sign up and pay 30% on your balance, and you pay $29 if your payment gets here late. Don't care. It's a bribe. Forget about it. Throw that away. A lot of places talk about hey, this is a great benefit. No, it's not. It's a bribe. Another thing, budgeting tools. Now this is a new thing. I'm kind of digging this. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but that old rascal Tim Cook, he put together some images that they showed where you can download some of these budgeting tools, and it'll show you how much you spend on this category or that category. And they looked pretty simple. They looked colorful. They looked easy to understand, and that's why I like it. If you've got some budgeting tools. Not budgeting tools. We don't use that word. Spending plan tools. Spending plan tools. I kind of like it. You can say, well, how much have I spent this month on eating out? And you go, whoa, look at that. How much have I spent at, buying drinks? Ooh, wow. Maybe I'll cut back on that a little bit. So I kind of like that about it. So there's some very, very cool things. Bottom line, is the card amazing? No, not so much. Is it good? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good things about it. Is it competitive? Oh, absolutely. You knew that Apple was going to come out with something competitive. When I was watching the reveal, one of the first things that they talked about, first couple of things, no fees. And I'm like blown away. I'm going, how are they going to do that? Because, we try and understand the credit card industry a little bit, at least on a macroeconomic level here. And I'm going, how are they going to do that? So there's some good stuff about it. I mean, some of the things that they're doing are better than others, like no fees, like the budgeting tools, like the totally cool look. I mean, maybe it's going to supplant even Black Card, Brian. When it comes out, we'll have to get our hands on one and check it out. But there's some things that they do about the same, like, interest. The interest, okay. And there's some things that maybe are not as good, like you need to have an Apple phone. Not a problem for me, but might be a problem for others. Like you need to know how to use Apple Pay. You need to know how to go beep. So I don't know. It's extremely cool. It combines a nice set of features in a convenient way. It doesn't have any fees. Maybe it's going to be something to check it out. What do you think?
I am most interested in the data that it's going to give me at the end.
The tools.
The tools, the interface, this
Right.
is where your money is gone. Can it help with my budgeting? Can it help with my taxes? Is it going to make my life easier somehow? Is there a third benefit of this thing? That when it's tax time, all my stuff, my business stuff, my personal stuff, is there a way that it's already done?
Right.
By someone else, by their, maybe all I have to do is at the end of every month, just double check real fast.
Right.
That everything was categorized. Yep, done.
That make things easier. It'd make things easier. I don't know. I think I may check it out. But if it's going to be the card that you use, and I like to have it all on one card. I've got a business card and a personal card. Now you got to do the other kind of things, like the cable, or the Amazon, the monthly recurring things. Now you got to go back and change all those yet again. We were changing them over every year or so, because the credit card would go, oh, we lost your data. Here's a new card number.
There was a hack. You got to fix everything.
And I got to keep a list. And what a pain in the butt. And then we changed a completely different card where we thought that the chance of hack was less. And so now that's all set up and running, and it's been running that way for a while, and we're liking it. But am I going to go back and change it all over if I go to the Apple card? I don't know. Getting people to change their habits kind of tough. But I'm going to check it out. You know what might pull me across the line? I don't know. Engraved titanium.
No number.
Oh, the Apple card. It'll be out this summer. When we get our hands on it, we're going to do another episode on it.
There will be an unboxing episode.
Yeah, we are going to check it all out. So there you have it, the Apple card. Now, Brian, we've got a stack of emails here. Do we have any time for any emails?
I don't think so. We went, how long are we at? 27 minutes
27 minutes. Here we are setting up. We reserved some time, for the credit cards, and we're sitting here in the studio talking about the credit.
We just blew through it.
We just blew through all of our time. All right, well, we'll put those over till next time. This is Dave Hagan, and you've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast.
You've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to financial success. If you have a question that you would like Dave to answer on the podcast, go to thefinancialwellnesspodcast.com. You can leave an audio message with one click of a button, or type your message into the question box. Either way, it's sent right to Dave's phone. Remember, Dave will randomly draw from the submitted questions and pick the winner of a free 1-hour personal conversation with Dave to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you receive the new episode notifications, or share the podcast via the app with your family and friends. This is your announcer, Nick Appel, wishing you every financial success.